we're not targeting crypto people right now. We're targeting non-crypto people, the 99.9% rest of the world that don't have crypto. And we're targeting them and just saying, hey, this is the simplest, easiest on-ramp to crypto.
Hello and welcome back to the Airdrop Review podcast. I'm your host, Aaron, and before we get started with today's episode, I want to go ahead and plug a couple of our channels where you guys can connect with us at. First of all, Twitter at Airdrop Review, and also our Telegram. I'm going to link all of those below. I also want to take a second to plug our affiliate program, the Airdrop Review affiliate program. As a listing and review site for airdrops, we're constantly looking at airdrops, signing up for them, sharing referral codes, and collecting tokens. We want to get back to our top users on our site by giving some of those tokens to those who drive the most visits to our site. We have a unique affiliate program where it tracks the amount of visits you generate towards our site and rewards you with tokens. Just by signing up, you qualify for some free tokens. Check out the link in the description for a complete overview of the program. In this episode, I speak with Brent Traidman. Brent is the Chief Revenue Officer at BRD. If you don't know what BRD is, formerly known as Bread Wallet, BRD was one of the first crypto wallets back in 2013. Since then, BRD has expanded and grown their user base to millions. In this conversation, we talk about the vision and future for BRD. We talk about some of the partnerships that they've been working with. And of course, we speak about the airdrop. Let's get started.
My career leading up to BRD now, we changed our name from Bread. I'll talk about that a little bit. But before going into cryptocurrency, I was always in enterprise software and tech, and ran sales, leadership teams, sales management type roles. I also advised a VC in Silicon Valley, so I always had that entrepreneurial spirit and always talked to startups and kept myself really close to kind of what's happening next. So when I came over to crypto, it was a little change for me, going to selling from businesses to business to consumers, and but I found a unique way of having a more enterprise B2B type opportunity at BRD, which I'll talk about as well today.
That's awesome. I'm sure, your experience seeing startups and really kind of seeing the nitty gritty behind VC or with VC really helped you really dive in once you got there. It's kind of cool how you flip the stage in a sense. Usually you see a lot of the inverse, startup first, then VC, but it's cool that you're able to do that. Now, when did you first hear about Bitcoin, or when was your first introduction to the Bread Wallet back when it was first launched? Like, when was your first exposure to the project?
So I was living in San Francisco at the time, and that I discovered Bitcoin, and it was probably 2012, 2013. And it just so happens that I knew Aaron Voisin, who was who came up with the first iOS app that could store and send and receive Bitcoin. Just so happened he was a friend of my brother's, and flash forward about 12 months later, he built this open source product that became super popular, and I had it on my phone, and I said, okay, this is kind of interesting. And then I saw things like Coinbase pop up, and I think like 2012, 2013, I saw the funding going on from a VC perspective, and I said, okay, this sounds super interesting. So that's kind of what got me started. I think it certainly helped that I was in San Francisco in the Bay Area and kind of in that VC network. But having close friends in it was pretty helpful too.
Recently, you guys were at the Money2020 Europe. How did that go? Did you get a chance to visit, and maybe some of the trends that your team or yourself saw at the conference this year?
Yeah, so we've been going to Money20. We've gone to a couple of them, we as in the company. Actually, a couple of years ago, Adam and Aaron, they were the two employees of the company at the time. I happened to be at Money2020 in Vegas, and they were there, and they were on stage. This was probably 2014, I want to say, 15, somewhere around there, and they had the open source protocol, and just incorporated in 2015. And they went on stage and moved maybe, $50,000 worth of Bitcoin from one wallet to some person in Shanghai instantly, and I think the fees were almost around zero back then. And it just blew everybody's mind, and they were just like, what is going on here? How is that so quick and effortless? And they showed everybody. So flash forward to this year, we went to Money2020 in Amsterdam. And prior to that, we kind of came in looking for an opportunity to make a splash. We have an aggressive marketing campaign right now, as I kind of say, it's a land grab in getting new users and exposure and partnerships in crypto. And we have a lot of competitors, and they keep popping up all the time. And to establish ourselves in our million plus users in 170 countries, we have to set the bar really high and really provide that sense of community in crypto at non-crypto events. So Money2020 Amsterdam is not a crypto event at all. It's a fintech event, and anything around banking and financial technology. There actually was nothing going on with crypto, no crypto type advertisements anywhere except for ours and a couple of our partners that we brought in with us. So we rented out what they call the outdoor terrace, outdoor lounge, and we called it the Crypto Lounge. And arguably, it became probably the most crowded area of the conference. And it's funny, one of my business development executives from New York was at a night market at midnight the night before and saw a saxophone player that was just doing a tremendous job, and he hired him on the spot and said, can you come over to Money2020 the next day? And he was there. So it was a lively atmosphere. There were food carts. There were just tables of people talking about the future of money. And we have amazing videos and photos of just the collaboration of what we call the legacy financial system and the new financial system. And just knowing that, after being here for 9 months or so, I just have realized that there's a point in which the existing system, so strong and so big and so part of everybody's lives, as well as the financial stability of many countries, is going to converge over to the side, and the other side of the future of money, crypto, is going to converge back to some kind of compromise, as I would call it, where there might be some technology being used back and forth. And we just saw that. I mean, we really saw that in how people were talking, from bankers from some of the largest banks in Europe to some of the crypto people that we brought and some of our friends that were there. And it was very interesting, and I think some good partnerships are going to come out of that.
Now, you mentioned it briefly in the sense that you guys are really trying to transform the space, and I think you touched on it well in saying we're at a fintech conference. Although it's relative to crypto, not a crypto conference, you guys are still gaining all this industry, like banking industry attention. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the frictions you guys have seen when developing the BRD app to be more consumerized?
Yeah, so it's interesting that the legacy banking system right now, I mean, this is mostly focused. I mean, well, there's a couple pieces, right? There's the commercial banking side, there's the investment banking side, money management, et cetera, securities, et cetera. When I just focus on commercial banking for a second, the retail banking, and it's going to a branch that's open 9 to 5, and you have to go get money out of a machine, you stand in line, you deposit a check or get assigned a check over. Where we see that going is digital. It just doesn't matter how, but it's just all going digital. There might be ATMs for cash for a little bit, but that's going to be gone too in the future. And when you're having these conversations with the banks, they just want to have assets under management. What's different about our business is that we have zero assets under management. We actually are not a bank. We are a software company that enables you to own and control and use your crypto, but it's in your control. So it's decentralized. And that's an important difference between the banking system of today, where you go in, you give them your direct deposit of your paycheck, or you walk in and get your money out. You have to go to them to do these services, where crypto and BRD just basically says there's no need for that party. And the idea of the bank making money with your money is what we think is going to be somewhat gone in commercial banking in the future. At least crypto will take a big piece of that, because really, when you think about it, those banks are probably making, 5-10% annual returns on your money. And right now they're paying, I don't know about you, but my checking account's probably close to zero. in interest, but what am I paying for? What am I getting from that? And that's where you just have to stop and think and say, what if I could actually make money with my own money? And maybe I can invest it by myself and play around with it, or do some types of financial products, or maybe do some other things that allow me to have the control to do what I want with my money 24/7, anywhere in the world. So when I'm traveling or wherever, I can just, wire any amount of money to somebody really quickly without having to deal with a third party. So I think that's just really powerful. And, the commercial banking side is the first side we're really attacking there. And, it shows that, millions of people are downloading wallets like ours and financial services apps just to do just that. And that's where I think, a big piece of banking will erode the size of the banks they are today, is that first step, that retail commercial banking side.
That's huge. Yeah, I think that's what I'm most excited about in terms of the project you guys are working on with BRD. And also, just my biggest thing right now is really the focus on how are we going to be able to develop crypto wallets that, my mom can use. Really excited for you guys in terms of what you're doing to bring, that consumerization to the space.
Yeah. You nailed it, Aaron. I mean, the simplicity, it has to be simple, or else that's table stakes, right? So when you're talking money in your pocket, it can't be difficult to use, right? So table stakes is simplicity, but it's funny, you download a lot of these crypto apps or go onto an exchange, and I don't know about you, but you really have to know what you're doing in order to set it up and get it going and do all these types of things. Where our onboarding, you download our app, within about 1 minute, I can send you some Bitcoin, or you can buy some Bitcoin. No setup, no onboarding, nothing like that. So you're right. You have to make it simple for the masses, or else they're never going to come in. And I've asked many people, we've done consumer surveys, and people, we're not targeting crypto people right now. We're targeting non-crypto people, the 99.9% rest of the world that don't have crypto. And we're targeting them and just saying, hey, this is the simplest, easiest on-ramp to crypto. And that resonates really well. And, we're watching the behaviors of people, and, our design is so simple and effortless that it's very friendly to get onboarded. So that's an important thing for us.
Yeah, that's great. I know sometimes with disruptive technology, it's this stage of ideology change. So there's brief, I see it as, 2 to 3 years right now. It's sometimes I feel as some consumers, when they go into the crypto space, if it's too easy, they may feel like they're getting hacked, or they're in a bad position security wise, because they have this, the ideology around the space is like, oh, it's so difficult. You have to understand these things, or you have to be very careful. And I think give it 2 or 3 years, in projects like you guys and other ones is really going to help transform the space, and we're going to see a lot more adoption, which is what I'm really excited about. Now, talk to us more about the BRD token, and maybe touch on a little bit like where you see tokens going in the future. I'd love to hear your opinion.
Yep, sure. So we came out with the BRD token in December of last year. We had a crowd sale and private raise prior to that. The coin was, it's kind of unique that we had an ICO in the first place. When we were looking at companies that were doing token sales, most of them were 5 people in a basement somewhere in some foreign country, and you knew nothing about them, and they just had a white paper, and they just said, send us some ETH. So what's different about our company is that we actually had Series A funding. We had seed funding. We have a board of directors. We're incorporated in Switzerland. We have subsidiary companies we had a formal company that was actually producing revenue and had over 1 million users at the time of our ICO. So that's really unique when it comes to an ICO. What we decided on the tokenization of the BRD token is that what we wanted was a way for consumers to use the token. Straight up utility. One of our advisors created the utility token white paper originally. And we said, this is going to be a token for loyalty and rewards for our users, so they can get premium access to financial services and other things that people that do not have the BRD token won't have access to. So we have a rewards and loyalty program that we're about to announce in the next couple weeks that is going to have that's going to outline all the tiers. We've hinted at it in the past couple weeks, but what it is essentially going to be a way of saying, if you have this many BRD token, you have access to these different features and functions and access. And what's interesting about that is that since we don't have assets under protection, and frankly, we actually don't know how much anybody has in our app, which is another piece that's interesting about decentralized apps. So Aaron, you could have the BRD wallet right now. You can have $5 of Bitcoin. You can have 5 million. I don't know. So when you call our support, I can't look up your account. I can't see anything. So we see nothing. It's really good. It's good privacy. It's good control for you. You're in control of your money. At the same time, we do have a way of knowing when the BRD token is in your wallet. So and the way to do that is having the app call it and basically see the quantity that you have. So one of the interesting things there is that it allows for opening up premium access features for people that have that quantity. And we won't even be able to see who has it. And frankly, we don't take names or email addresses, so we don't even know who you are. But you'll see the premium access and other financial services offerings through our partners that you have access to. And we're constantly looking at partners right now to put in this program that are going to be something that you want to use. So I go back to what I was saying about making money with your money. So finding ways to do things like investment banking type investing, or things that you would have access to if you had, say, hundreds of thousands or $1 million at a Charles Schwab or Fidelity. That type of premium access that gets you into some better products and better customer support are the things that we're doing for our users. So those are some of the examples of what the BRD token is doing for our customers. And we're quite confident that that's one of the things that's lacking in crypto is just rewards. And frankly, it's easier to use your credit card and get miles and points. But just imagine if you were to get rewards using BRD, the app, and by transacting within our app. And that is what we thought about quite hard, and something that we think is going to provide great loyalty long-term for our customers, and it's going to make them quite happy. So that's exactly what the BRD token is about, and we're excited to announce that really soon. I just don't want to spoil it before it gets out on the street.
No, I'm pumped about that. I definitely see that vision there in terms of building a foundation of incentivizing, your users, but also going back to the point you made, and banks aren't fulfilling, our needs and our wants. It's something we become accustomed to, just like, oh, this is where I store my money because it's kind of the only way. So I think it's really exciting to see you guys not only transforming the way people store their money, but also the way they, interact with it in terms of rewards and things like that. So I'm really excited to see how you guys develop that and move forward with that. So about 2 weeks ago, you guys announced your partnership with Token Market. Can you talk to us more about that?
Sure. So yeah, and to answer that last question too about the vision of kind of where things are going, it's a good tie. It's a good tie to the Token Market BRD relationship and partnership that we have going right now. So we were at their event. We've been following them quite closely, and thought they would be a really good fit for our customers and for our brand. And they are known as one of the most sought after ICO advisor for any ICO that is looking to have an advisory firm help them with an ICO. I think they've raised maybe $300-400 million in 30 ICOs in the past year, and are growing quite rapidly, and have they probably, like a VC, they get hundreds, if not thousands of ICOs trying to pitch them to work with them. And they're quite backed up, but they do a really good job of picking just really quality products and quality teams that, number one, weed out all the scams and all the garbage out there. So one of the things we thought was, all right, we need to be a thought leader in this industry. We need to fix problems in this industry. One thing is the scams, the security, and the ease of use and the simplicity. One thing we can do really quickly, since we have a decentralized wallet application that holds ERC20 tokens and can hold more ERC20 tokens, first thing we can do is make it easier for people to invest into ICOs and buy tokens. And the way we're doing that is with Token Market specifically is that we're adding a ICO checkout type functionality to make it easier for people to buy tokens. So I don't know about you, but I've looked at many different ICO websites, and everyone has a different button. You have to read instructions, you have to verify, you have to test, you have to copy and paste a 32-digit Ethereum address, you have to send it to some address, and then the day of the ICO, you have these fake websites coming up and these fake spam, and you just don't know who to trust. So one of the things we're doing, since we have a trusted brand in this market, is that we said we are going to have an easy way to check out. So what that means is, similar to Amazon Checkout or Visa Verify or any of these buttons where you click and it already knows who you are, you can actually check out with your BRD app. So whether you have ETH in there or Bitcoin or whatever you have, and you want to buy some tokens, there's a way to convert them. You can say, this is what I want. You do KYC. We were working with another partner on that. We've got it all integrated in our design and our really simple UI to make it seamless for the user so they don't have to copy and paste and do these weird things. Because frankly, back to your point, I don't think everybody is going to even know what that even means in the future, all those addresses. And we're just trying to make it really easy. So you can get what you need. You want to buy some tokens, you want to check out, and hey, the tokens are just going to be thrown back into that same wallet that it came from. We're really simplifying the process. And I was talking to Token Market or a couple ICO advisory firms. They said everybody I've talked to said that the scams and the problems and all this type of stuff is really hurting the ICO reputation, right? And I'm sure you've read a lot of articles and all these scams. I mean, every time I look at one, I first think, is this a scam or not? Because 80% of them are. So everybody just puts up a website. You don't know where they are, what country, where in the world. You don't know if it's bogus or not. You got to do your due diligence and research. So we're cleaning it up, and we're making it simple, and we're doing it through a trusted brand wallet. So you don't have to worry about copying and pasting and making sure you have the right one and getting sidetracked. But it goes through our app, which goes directly into your own privately controlled money. So that's one thing that we're doing really quickly, and we're excited about it. When I'd like to see the ICO checkout button really on all quality ICOs in the future. Now, where we think it's going, back to your other question, is the future. Right now, we're talking mostly utility tokens, and in the past year, it's been mostly utility tokens. We're working with a lot of security exchanges and security protocol companies to be that interface for getting a security token, because we believe that is going to be the future. It's going to disrupt the stock markets as they are today. They're going to be 24/7. They're going to be available to anybody in the world, not country specific, no time zone specific, be anywhere. And they're going to be heavily regulated, but there's also going to be great rewards and dividends and revenue sharing and those types of things that are really going to allow you, Aaron, to make money with your money. And we're really excited about that. And that is going to be the future of tokens. And I think the utility tokens are more of a lily pad to get to that next step. And it's just the evolution of tokens, in my opinion.
Speaking of more partnerships, can you talk to us a little bit about how important it was to work with Binance on the ICO Launch Pad when you guys first launched your ICO?
So it was interesting back in December, which was the craziest time of crypto, right? In December 2017. We know the folks at Binance, and they had reached out to us, I believe, or talked to our team, and they were just doing Binance Launch Pad. And I think we were the second company on Binance Launch Pad after one other one. And then I don't think they've really done any since then. So I think they kind of experimented with it, but they sold about 5 million of our tokens to their customers, and it all happened in like 90 seconds. So it was incredible. So they have quite the amount of customers that are buying tokens, at least in December, and they did a phenomenal job selling out very quickly. And that was a really interesting piece, and that is something that we didn't have a huge market in Asia, and we have a lot of customers there, but we weren't marketing, like hard marketing. We weren't focusing on the languages of Asia, and if we're putting a video out or a website, we're kind of limited on what we did, and kind of mostly English. On everything on our website and things like that. Our app's in 14 different languages, but I'd say, the ICO, the white paper, and everything, we kind of focused on English and Japanese only. But they opened the door to, I'd say, China and Southeast Asia more than we ever have before, and that just helped our brand grow internationally really quickly.
I noticed that, and I definitely see that as a great strategic play for you guys to dip your toes in different markets and really open your ICO up to a lot of different users and make it, again, kind of a theme here, right? Make it really easy for your users to get a hold of what you guys are doing. So talk to us more about the airdrop. I mean, you guys just finished up about a month and a half ago. Can you tell us kind of how that went?
Sure. So the airdrop was a great success in terms of new users. It's amazing when you give something out, people just come. But it's kind of interesting when we don't today have a feature where you can refer a friend, and this is kind of way you can do that. And you just say, hey, you can go get some, free tokens, go over here and get them. It definitely, it was a surge in user count, which is great. So highly recommend it for that reason. I think our Telegram and Twitter and everybody just started tweeting and following us and spreading it. So whenever you're holding something up for free, everybody tries to grab at it, I guess. But it was good. It was good exposure to the brand. I hope people, start playing around with the app once they got it. And we're looking for long-term people that are really interested in the technology, and people that are in our beta group now, and some of those folks that have reached out to us after the airdrop that didn't really know our brand, which has been extremely beneficial for us. So it's just another way to advertise, in our opinion, as opposed to the typical Apple and Google and Facebook type ads within the stores. But it's a different way. It's a different way to get out there and get some new customers.
Is there anything else you want to leave our audience with before they go? Maybe where they can find BRD and maybe how they can get connected to the application?
Sure. So we it's interesting. We actually have BRD.com now as our URL, and our brand is now all BRD. We still, people say bread all the time, or you go to a meetup and they all know bread or bread wallet, but we're BRD.com. You're going to see a lot more coming on the web. You'll see some really cool videos that we did in our offices to see our people. We're now up to 44 coworkers globally, offices all around the world. And we're excited to update the website and really show everybody what we're about and establish that trust with the audience that we're looking to accomplish. So look forward to getting some more posts about the rewards and loyalty and all of that. You can sign up on our website to get on our mailing list at brd.com.
And that's it for today's conversation. Thanks again for tuning in. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Also, go ahead and shoot us over a tweet. Let us know what you think about our podcast. If you have any questions about things we're doing, or maybe even suggestions, we're always open for feedback and really look forward to engaging with you. Also, check out our affiliate program, which I plugged earlier in the show. If you have any other questions, you know where to find us on Twitter. Thanks.